That means 80% of young brokers are failing out of this career path. And honestly, guys, I put a lot of onus on the firms. It's tough to get in there and prospect and find clients all on your own, especially when you're young and fresh out of college. What's up, guys? It's your boy Ra Ray, back with another very special, powerful, informative video. In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about the truth, the dirty, hard truth about being a stockbroker in 2021. Are the movies real? Is Wolf of Wall Street a true, accurate representation of what it's like to be a stockbroker? Today, I'm gonna unpack that for you guys. But before we get into this video, like this video, comment below if you have experience being a broker or if you want to get into financial services. Comment below and let me know what your viewpoints are. And subscribe to the channel if you are an elite millennial going out there go seeking to be and will be the first multi-millionaire in your family. Subscribe to the channel, man, because I post all things business, finance, entrepreneurship, and crushing it. So like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into this video. All right, so you want to know the truth about being a stockbroker in 2021? Did you know the median annual income for a stockbroker in 2021 is $73,000 a year? And typically the only education requirement to become a stockbroker in 2021 is to have a bachelor's degree. And sometimes you don't even need that. So I want to preface this video by giving you guys my background experience being a broker. So I graduated university in 2017, and right after 2017, I joined TD Ameritrade, who sponsored me to take my Series 7 and become a registered stockbroker. And shortly after working for TD Ameritrade, I then went to work for a mega firm, a wirehouse as they like to call it, by the name of Morgan Stanley. So I have a little bit of experience in this field, both on the broker dealer side of things and also on the registered investment advisor side of things. So I think that I have the some type of ability to communicate with you guys the truth about being a stockbroker in 2021. So I want to break down some of the pros and some of the cons of being a stockbroker in 2021, and also give you guys some of the truth and some things they may not be telling you in the movies about being a stockbroker in 2021. Did you know that the turnover rate for stockbrokers is upwards of 80%? That means 80% of individuals who start a career as a stockbroker tend to leave after their first year of being in the business. And do you think that's a voluntary thing, or do you think that's a non-voluntary thing? They're actually being let go from these companies. Well, I'll be the first to tell you it's not a voluntary thing. Being a stockbroker is arguably one of the hardest and most difficult careers to be successful in the world. And you may be asking yourself, why is that the case? Well, being a broker involves a lot of sales. And honestly, if I'm gonna be truthful with you, being a broker is really a sales position. It has nothing to do with how well you can put together a stock portfolio, how well your fundamental analysis is, or your technical analysis, how well you can read stock charts. Being a broker has nothing to do with that at all. And I honestly feel like this is a trap that a lot of young finance professionals fall into when they get these jobs with these broker dealer companies. They think that they're gonna go in there slanging stonks and giving recommendations to clients every single day and have full autonomy to manage their own portfolios and this, that, and the fourth. And to be honest with you, that's true, but first you have to build a clientele first, and that is arguably one of the most, if not the hardest part of being a broker. Building your own client base. And in 2021, there are a number of different things that make that even more difficult than it was back then. And I'm gonna explain those things later in this video. So let's get into some of the pros of being a stockbroker in 2021. And trust me, there are some pros. Number one, the first benefit of being a broker in 2021 is schedule flexibility. Being a stockbroker is one of the only professions out there that allows you to build and manage your own schedule. Just to break this down for you guys, when I was a young broker working at Morgan Stanley, my schedule was completely up to me, meaning I could set meetings in the evening times, I could go snooze in the evenings, I could do coffee and breakfast meetings in the morning. It was totally up to my discretion. So think about it. If you're married or you have children, you have a family, maybe being in this profession is something that you want to consider, because it provides you the ability to build your own schedule. So if you want to go to your kids' soccer games, or if you want to take your wife out to an evening, dinner date or something like that, this profession gives you that ability to do that. So pro number one, there's a lot of schedule flexibility, which is awesome if you're a do-it-yourself, own boss type of person. Pro number two, if you're one of those stock nerd guys, kind of like I am, and you just go crazy over anything that has to do with the financial markets, pro number two of being a stockbroker is you get to manage your clients' investment portfolios, meaning you get to pick the stocks, you get to pick the mutual funds, you get to pick the bonds, and you get to pick any other securities that you deem valuable for your clients' portfolios. Now, don't get me wrong, some clients will not give you that authority. Some clients will want to tell you what securities to buy in a portfolio, but you will get those clients who strictly want you to manage everything. And partially that's because they don't have the knowledge to make those decisions, so they seek out professionals such as you to provide that value to them. So benefit number two of being a stockbroker in 2021 is you get to manage your clients' investments. So if you enjoy picking stocks and reading research articles and conducting fundamental analysis, reviewing earnings and financial statements, this may be the position for you. And the third pro of being a stockbroker in 2021 is great pay. Now, don't get me wrong, it takes time to be wildly successful as a stockbroker in 2021. You're not just gonna come into business making six figures a year, okay? It literally takes time to build up to that point. But the advisors, the lucky few who are able to build successful, sustainable businesses, enjoy great pay. I met a few advisors who were clearing over $500,000 a year easy in annual income. So really there is an opportunity, if you can get through the barriers, to make a lot of money in this position. So benefit and pro number two of being a stockbroker in 2021 is great pay. It's an opportunity to make a lot of money. All right, guys, now that I've given you the pros of being a stockbroker in 2021, let's get into the cons of being a stockbroker in 2021. Con number one, cold calling and prospecting. Oh, it has such a dirty feeling when you say that name, doesn't it? Cold calling and prospecting is how you build your book of business at a broker, dealer, or registered investment advisory firm. It is up to you to go out there and cold call people and ask them to come in for a meeting. Tell them that you're a broker for Morgan Stanley or whatever, Merrill Lynch, whatever institution that you work with. Call them, let them know that, and see if you can offer them some type of service that is going to attract them to want to come in and meet with you. And cold calling is tough, guys. Cold calling is tough. It is not fun at all. And literally, your whole entire success in the business is based on your ability to take cold leads to warm leads to closing on these leads. And literally, when you're calling these people, they've never talked to you a day before in your life. They have no idea who you are. You're some random salesperson calling them out of nowhere. So it can be tough to convert a lot of the clients that you're having conversations with. And if you're not super sales savvy, this could be even more difficult for you. So con number one, you have to cold call to build your book of business. All right, guys, con number 2, diminishing salary. Now, this may not be true for every financial firm and institution out there, but firms like Morgan Stanley have programs for younger advisors where they actually bring you in on a base salary, and they'll give you this base salary for the first 3 years of your career. If you make it that far, they'll give you this base salary. But as time progresses, after the first year, your salary begins to diminish every quarter until it becomes a giant goose egg of 0. That means eventually your salary will diminish to the point where you are no longer making any amount of money from your base salary. Your base salary will cease to exist. So now you may be wondering, if that's the case, how do I get paid working for these firms? Well, to be honest, being a broker is large. The majority of your pay is based off of commissions. So as your salary gets reduced every quarter after the first year, eventually down to 0, you're expected to make up that pay via commissions, meaning when you sell a stock and the broker and the firm charges the client a transaction fee, a portion of that fee gets paid out to you every transaction. And then you can also set it up where you charge an annual fee to your clients for managing their assets. That's also how you can get paid. And that's really where a lot of the work is moving to in today's day and age, away from that transactional based business model to more of that investment advisory business model where you can charge an annual fee to your clients. But yes, con number 2, diminishing pay. You will not have a base salary forever, which means if you're not producing, you could see your pay dwindle down to nothing. And that could be really tough during hard economic times. I think we can all agree. So con number 2, diminishing base pay. All right, guys, and last but not least, con number 3 of being a stockbroker in 2021 is that you are literally on your own. Newer advisors, unless you're being brought on to an already existing team, building your book of business is all on you. There are no free handouts, okay? And what I mean by that is it's up to you to make 100 cold calls a day. It's up to you to schedule 5 meetings a week. It's up to you to close the business. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some brokers in the office who will slide you accounts that are smaller accounts because their business is too large in scale to handle it. But you cannot depend on that to build your book of business. So it is literally all on you. And that is con number 3. Unless you're able to be put on the team and work with the team that's well established, that already has a big book, and maybe you can do like paraplanning for them or, you know, minor administrative stuff on the side. It is literally all on you to build your book of business, and that is con number 3. All right, guys, now that I've given you my pros and cons of being a stockbroker in 2021, let's just get real. Being a broker is hard work. Like I said, I was a broker with Morgan Stanley and TD Ameritrade, and I decided to make a career change. I'm still in finance, but I'm definitely not on the broker side anymore, and that's because, guys, it's really a lot of sales. And I know as young finance professionals, we see movies like Wolf of Wall Street and Wall Street, and we see just the kind of the finance bro side of things, and it's very attractive and it draws you in, and you think that you're gonna come in and be this hot shot stud. But like I told you guys, the turnover rate for brokers in 2021 is upwards of 80%. That means 80% of young brokers are failing out of this career path. And honestly, guys, I put a lot of onus on the firms. It's tough to get in there and prospect and find clients all on your own, especially when you're young and fresh out of college. What 60-year-old is gonna trust you with their retirement nest egg when you're just 22, when you're still hanging out with friends, drinking beer on the weekends? It's not gonna happen. So it's really tough and it's really difficult, and it can be a very stressful career for a lot of people. So I would not recommend becoming a stockbroker unless you are sales driven. If you're a finance junkie and you just love stocks and love developing portfolios and managing risk and all these other things. All that stuff is great, but you're never really gonna have an opportunity to do that stuff until you have clients, until you actually have a book of business. Because until then, you just need to focus like a laser on building that book of business, or else your firm is going to let you go. You are going to get fired. Early on in your career, it's not about your ability to generate alpha. It's not about your ability to be this great stock picker. It's about your ability to bring in assets, $1 million accounts, $500,000 accounts. That's all it's about. And until you do that, you won't even get a chance to implement some type of unique investment strategy. And that's honestly kind of sad, because that's why I got into finance in the first place. I love the financial markets, I love fundamental analysis, and I love all things finance, right? So that's why you get sucked into these positions, and then you find out that you're just another sleazy salesperson, right? Like the guy said on Wolf of Wall Street, you're just another sleazy salesperson. It's sales, guys. Being a stockbroker is literally a fancy word for sales, and your career is based on your ability to bring in assets, okay? And then maybe down the line, once you have a good solid book of business underneath you, then you can focus more of your career on generating alpha, on developing unique investment strategies, and maybe you can be known for that in your local area. You can be the fixed income or the municipal bond guy. You know, I don't know, people do that. People find little niches in the business, but for the most part, you won't have that luxury to do that stuff until you build your book of business. And that is honestly the truth about being a stockbroker in 2021. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. But all right, guys, there you guys have the truth about being a stockbroker in 2021. I hope I didn't crush too many of your dreams. There's also another pro that I forgot. Some firms will sponsor you to get your Series 7 for free. So that's an out-of-pocket expense that you won't have to take, and you'll have your Series 7. So that's a super marketable license to have. But you know, look, it's up to you what decision you make. It's up to you whether this is a career path you want to go down. Just take it from my experience. Look, I'm 26 now. I got into the field right after graduating in 2017. So it's been a few years. I've been around the block just a little bit, but I'm still learning. But I hope you guys get value from this video. I hope it makes you make some major career decisions. But there's not too many people out there being honest about the truth of this profession. So I just wanted to use my platform to take that time to do that for you guys. So I hope you got value from this video. Like the video, comment, let me know what you guys think. Are you still gonna go down the career path, or are you gonna think it's changed? But there you guys have it, your boy Ray. Peace.